covering the shoulder.
Swing and a miss. McGinley scores!
And it's going to be a challenge for us. I mean, they're a really talented football team. I think everybody knows that.
4 wide receivers. Pressure. Steps up. Marshall wants to run again. Cuts down the middle of the field. All alone. Touchdown! Warriors! What a cut.
And welcome to East Kentwood High School, where this morning we got 7 games for you. He's Evan Stockton, I'm Chad Bush. Game 1 about to get underway. The Lee Legends against the Benton Harbor Tigers. Evan, what should we know about this ball game?
Well, what we should know is that right away Lee is coming to play, a program that has struggled up until the last few years. Really good last couple of years. And then Benton Harbor, as you see all this battling just to begin the game, Chad. A lot of great teams here today at East Kentwood, but Division II is the highlight. Later today, we will have Grand Rapids Christian playing against Warren Lincoln. That's the best 2 teams in D2. Benton Harbor, always really good. They're also top 5 in Division II. Very easily today, someone we see on this floor could be playing for a state title at the Breslin Center in about 8 weeks from now.
A lot of fun today. And teams from the east side of the state, west side of the state, all coming together thanks to Mike Thomas, the founder of the Gotta Get It Classic. And we're underway. We're scoreless so far in this one. Corner jump shot is long, and the rebound picked up. Offensive board, and that's Josiah King, the 6'4 senior. And the ball is trickled out of bounds back to the Lee Legends, who come in 4-3 on the year, won their first conference title a season ago. And what a job by Dominic Shannon, the East Kentwood alum, who's back home this morning.
Yeah, and the thing to watch with them as this game goes along, they are undersized when they're compared to Benton Harbor. But inside so far, I know it's early, they're holding up.
Baseline dribble drive is cut off. That's Mark Whitfield. Kick out, right wing, 3 on the way. And Marshall's shot is off the mark. Rebound picked up by Mason.
If Lee's going to win, it's going to be because of that guy, Marshall. He's their biggest player. He's their best player.
Muhammad shots off the mark, but the second chance opportunity for the second straight possession is true. And that's Josiah King with the first points of the Gotta Get It Classic in 2024.
Have we set an official over-under on the total amount of points today? There's 7 games.
No, but I'd love to see a line. That's a yes, let's do that. I think
we'll figure that out in the commercial break.
I like that. There's a kick ball. The energy from the Tigers is brewing. The Tigers, a tall team, got some experience. And I know you like their squad, a team that has yet to lose this year in 24.
Yeah, they just won a game last night. All 5 seniors on the team. So if you're worried about, quick turnaround from Beatonberry and Springs last night, I wouldn't necessarily worry about that because of all the experience that they have. Antoine Callahan's a heck of a player, multiple 30-point games this year.
Laying's good. That's the big fella, and that's number 23, Nazim Marshall at 6'4", the senior. And we're tied up at 2 aside.
23-0 in white. 2 best players. Got to have a good game if they've got a shot.
Going to have to protect that rim down low, too. 23, the only guy that has that size, and that is the slam dunk. Mustafa Muhammad at 6'5", with the first slam of the Gotta Get It Classic.
He's considered Benton Harbor's best all-around guy. Listed at 6'5", and he got up there, a 2-handed slam. That'll get you going early.
No doubt. Shot is blocked, and that'll trickle out of bounds. The Lee Legends will keep it, but the activity and the energy from the Tigers is felt early.
Benton Harbor always known for their athleticism. On one end, you got a rim rocker. Look at that camera angle. That is outstanding work by our entire production crew. And then a big block on the other end by Meeks.
Rip drive, shot under the bucket, but fouled. That's Najee Brown Tyler of the Lee Legends. Wyoming Lee Legends, if we're being technical here. In fact, Godfrey Lee Wyoming Legends, if we're being technical here.
It's a lot of words.
It's too many.
It's a lot.
We're just going to go with Lee. Here's another look at your first look at your starters. Tyler, Whitfield, Lewis, Fox, and Marshall for the Legends in the white uniforms this morning. And the starters for the Tigers, Callahan, King, Muhammad, who had that stuff along with Mason and Meeks under head coach Corey Sterling. Corey Sterling is in his 12th year. Dominic Shannon, we told you, the head coach for the Lee Legends. Dead spot left, triple is through. Benton Harbor's Antoine Callahan with a 3, and Benton Harbor up by 1.
When you're going to wear shoes like Callahan does, bright gold, you got to hit your shots. Strong start for Benton Harbor.
Cross-court pass nearly into the lap of Evan Stockton.
I was ready. I just want everyone to know that. It's 10-20, and I was ready.
You're ready. You got your shoes on, and they're ready, too. 3-ball, air ball, out of bounds. Back the other way we go. 7 games today. Evan and I glad to bring it with you. Alex Westfall, your captain behind the big chair. And we're glad to be here all day. 14 hours, you're stuck with us. Had a fun drive over from Detroit this morning. Lob down low right block. These are a couple of West Side State teams going at it. Corner 3 by Brown Tyler is off. On the run the other way, Tigers in the open court finish. That's Jaden Meeks with another bucket.
Benton Harbor, every year, there's a huge reason why they're good every year. They are just darn athletic. The way that they can get up and down the floor, it's tough for any team, and it's going to be tough for Lee all day long.
Really is. Baseline cut, dish to the paint, pretty basketball. Second chance opportunity, no good. Tigers will clear with numbers to the rack. Glasser, no good. Another offensive rebound. That's been a theme early on. And the corner 3 off the window was not intentional. That bad out of bounds wasn't either. We're going to keep it on this side of the court.
So the way that Benton Harbor's playing reminds me of some of the best teams we saw at the Division I level last year. That Cass Tech Muskegon state title game, they got up and down the floor. It's fun to watch, but it can get a little helter-skelter. Sometimes it's not a bad idea to get a better post look like that.
Great look, just rimmed out, and that's a walk back the other way. So far in this game, the shooting has been, well, what you would expect in the morning without coffee. 1 of 7 from the floor, the start for the Lee Legends. And for the Tigers, they've started 4 of 13, Evan. A lot of opportunities, not a lot of points.
Yeah, but I like the way that Benton Harbor has utilized their athleticism. They want to get in transition. Still waiting to see how it shapes up in the half-court set so far today.
4 offensive rebounds thus far have helped him. That's a pretty move, no call. He wanted it. Callahan didn't get it. Lee the other way. Left hand lay it good. No time to sulk when Najee Brown Tyler's in the house. Electric through that paint.
We talk about this a lot, covering all the various hoops games that we do, whether it be the Cruise, whether it be high school hoops here on the Prep. When you are a bit of a smaller guy like Tyler is at only 5'7", you have to find ways to squeeze through the traffic. Looking like Xavier Simpson for the Cruise. 2 taller guys on his left and right, no problems. Slithered inside for 2.
Just a preview of what's ahead of this day of fine young student athletes from the MHSAA from all kinds of conferences. The Tigers with a nice look inside. It was off the fingertips. That was a fine pass, though. Mason couldn't haul it in.
Yeah, Callahan rips this one inside to Mason. Great pass, and Antoine was frustrated. He looked right at Javon after he dropped the ball and said, come on, man, that was a layup. That was a dunk.
You know you're a good teammate when you can be honest with your teammates.
That's why I expect you to be honest with me at all times.
I will try all day. Left corner 3, Splash City. How about it? That's Mark Whitfield from distance. Ooh, and there's a pick at half court. It's a 1-point game, 9-8, and here comes the energy from the Legends.
This is exactly what we were just talking about. When Benton Harbor wants to utilize and get up the floor with their athleticism, that's fine. But on one end, you lose the guy in the corner, Whitfield, who was the Conference Player of the Year last year for Lee. He hits the shot, and then Benton Harbor, trying to get up the floor, just throws the ball away. This is where you can run into problems when you play this style.
No doubt. Floater from 15, pretty, but it kicks out. There have been some tough bounces in this game and these tight rims.
Ooh.
Turnover here deserves another turnover. It's been a turnover kind of morning. Benton Harbor with 6 flip-flops already in the contest.
I feel bad for Troy Fox because that ball was coming right for his face when he didn't expect it, and then he travels. Tough break. Still, though, if I'm Lee, I love the way this first quarter has gone, especially after being down 6.
Yep. 17 footers off the mark. High volume shooting from Josiah King. 3 points apiece for Whitfield and Brown Tyler for the Lee Legends. And 4 different Tigers have scored in this game. Tight one, as expected in game 1. Foul in the post, and that goes on King. That's a notable foul, and the 2 bigs going at it. Second foul already for Josiah King as Lee goes to the bench and brings in Martez Jackson, the 10th grader. Corner, ball out of bounds, 3 long, and the big boy keeps it alive, feeds down low, and too much rim protection. Tigers ahead, and this thing's got Vaseline. Can somebody check that ball? I mean, for real.
Well, you were making a joke earlier about coffee. I don't know how many high schoolers drink coffee, but these boys aren't caffeinated yet.
No,
clearly.
That ball's juice, though. Everybody getting ready for a big day. Nice roll. Block. Throw ahead. How about the Legend defense?
Seriously. It's why they've come back in this game, why they nearly have the lead. Oh, my goodness, these rims are tough.
Man, they are. Marshall couldn't get it to go on the finish. Tigers the other way. Euro step play. It's good. That's Antoine Callahan showing out. He's the point guard.
They got to get him the ball. The way that he has been animated the last couple of minutes, he does not like the way this first quarter has gone. Find Benton Harbor in that second quarter if they want to grow the lead. Get the ball to 2. Let them cook.
Najee Brown Tyler taking his time. This game's seen a lot of open court. Trying to take advantage of turnovers. Tight Tiger defense. Top side triple by the big man. And Marshall's shot is off the mark. We'll take a timeout. Got to get it classic. We're back in a moment.
Lowering the shoulder.
Swing and a miss. McGinley scores!
And it's going to be a challenge for us. I mean, they're a really talented football team. I think everybody knows that.
4 wide receivers. Pressure. Steps up. Marshall wants to run again. Cuts down the middle of the field. All alone. Touchdown! Warriors! What a cut.
Lowering the shoulder.
Swing and a miss. McGinley scores!
The Wyoming Lee Legends now 4-3 after their win, and they are in the Alliance Conference. 605 students. They're co-ed in public Division II school. 19-2, 8-0 last year. First in 43 years. Joe Rousseau, a notable alum, first-team all-conference guy, and a good story, the Wyoming Lee Legends.
Absolutely. A program that won its first ever conference title since 1990 last year. They had had 11 consecutive losing seasons before they won their conference last year. Now, what would we know in the state of Michigan about a team that struggled for a long time, but they finally won this year?
Topside triple. That's another one for Josiah King, playing with 2 fouls. Boy, he's shown he can score it from a few levels.
Yeah, I think Benton Harbor is starting to figure out here last couple of minutes that they have got the athleticism advantage. Lee's hanging tough, but Benton Harbor's got the pieces. Here we go.
Showtime coming up. That's an easy lay-in. That's Callahan. He'll take it. Tigers on a run, a 5-0 run, and they lead it. They're doubling up Lee. 7-0 run altogether, and it's about to grow. Callahan with a swipe and the score, and the tongue wagging after. And that young man's feeling himself. The Tigers 12-0, looking to stay perfect.
Dude plays with a lot of emotion. Football player, too. He's a linebacker, and he looks the part out there with all the emotion.
They know some football at Benton Harbor. Joik Bell, one of the best to play there, former Lion running back, to continue your Lion theme. There's a strip and a steal, and we've got a 3-on-2 developing, making a 2-on-2 after the fall. And, man, this is back and forth, helter-skelter. Left hand, 3-ball. Brown Tyler's long with it. And the Tigers are leaking out and getting layups every time.
Oh, boy.
And padding their rebounding stats while they're at it. Javon Mason with it. And we've got a timeout on the floor. Lee has seen enough. We'll keep it right here. How about the run? 11-0 run, Evan.
It's just the athleticism for Benton Harbor. We talked about it at the top of this game. A lot of big guys. 5 senior starters. Muhammad 6'5", Meek 6'4", King 6'4", Mason 6'3". Callahan, even at 6'1", he's a football linebacker, a well-built dude. This is one of the better high school basketball programs in Michigan year after year. Won the state title back in 2018. They haven't lost yet this year. And, Chad, there are a lot of good teams here at the Gotta Get It Classic today. 6 of the top 10 teams in the state are playing here today. The top 3 in Division II, including Benton Harbor. I know a lot of people will watch Warren, Lincoln, and Grand Rapids Christian later on today and take stock of who wins that game. But Benton Harbor is going to be a factor the rest of the season for sure.
I think they're going to have something to say in Division II. They keep playing at this pace. How about that step out by Marshall, and he sticks one from distance. He's got 5 now. And that's big. It stops the 11-0 run and gets Lee back into the discussion.
And right there, Marshall at a lanky 6'4", the ability to step outside and shoot the 3. 20 years ago, a guy who looks like that's not shooting that shot.
No, long, rangy, but couldn't block that one. Oh, the attack and the run and the finish, and then the steal and the score by Javon Mason after King scored again. King with his team leading 7th point, and the Tigers have taken over after that quick momentum.
They're awake now. They're awake. It took them a few minutes in the first quarter, but their athleticism is on full display now. And I love watching the emotion from Callahan after every play. This dude is locked in.
He is. Tigers will run a little perimeter and run some clock here. Most of the scoring's come in the open court after a steal. King pull-up jumper, and the rebound ripped off by Mark Whitfield at 5'11". He'll pull up in 3, no good. Tigers leaking out, 3-on-1 again. Kick, corner, Callahan, air ball. And a foul as young man got it on the chops of the nose coming down. That's Troy Fox who got fouled. And we'll see if the Legends can't regain some composure here.
So we talked on one side in the first quarter about how Benton Harbor's style of play can get them sped up a little bit. But when it's rolling, this is what it looks like. It's an avalanche. You get one stop, score, up and down the floor. And if I'm Lee, I just have to take a deep breath. I got to get into the half court. I got to get a basket somehow.
Stolen again. The Tigers and their steals. And that is a dunk, a breakaway dunk by Mustafa Muhammad. 26-11. Tigers have taken off this morning in Grand Rapids. Little hezzy, count it, and the foul. Tigers don't love the call, but the Legends attacking and getting rewarded. That is Whitfield.
And I like to see the passion on the other side for Whitfield. He saw that crevice, saw that crack in the D, got right to the hole. And Mason was late. That's a good call by the officials.
Yeah. Little pre-free throw routine of putting it behind the back. I'd lose it and embarrass myself doing that at a free throw. I'd never have that routine. Miss free throw, offensive rebound going up, and that is a jump ball. Going up was Nathan Johnson. And the Tigers, in their size advantage, as you mentioned, Evan, they've really protected rim, and they've also done well blocking shots in this game.
1,000%, and that's going to be a big reason why they should make a deep run when we get to the playoffs, when we get to March, because of that size, because of that athleticism. Specifically at the Division II level, there are going to be some schools that they just are more athletic than.
How about that? Sharon of the Sugar, Javon Mason, Clarence Lewis with a fine feed and a solid finish for Nizeen Marshall. 11-point game. We got a tie-up. It'll stay this way.
By the way, I hope you can notice, watching on your TV, watching on your phone, what's cool about this venue here at East Kentwood is there's a lot of natural light that comes through. It's kind of like Ford Field when they play at 1 o'clock, how the natural light comes through. There are barely any lights on in this gym. That's just the natural light from the windows behind us coming in. It's got an old school feel to it. I really like it.
It does. Well designed, this campus. And that is a turnover off the old knee of Jaden Meeks, the senior forward. Turnover, Tigers.
I mean, this East Kentwood athletic program is kind of the place to be right now. You got Mike Thomas as your basketball coach, all the success he's had multiple stops over a long time, and heard a rumor, Chad, that they just got a pretty good new football coach around here.
Ty Spencer, who we will talk to later today, is the new football coach at East Kentwood. Came over from Detroit King, and the principal here, Omar Bakri, who we'll talk to at halftime, they're starting to call him Mark Cuban because he's acquired all these great coaches and talented coaches. Highly touted Mike Thomas, and now Ty Spencer, who's come over a couple months ago. We look forward to talking to Ty. Spent a lot of time with him at King, of course. King with a short corner jumper that's through. Living right roll for number 5. And this young lad's got 9, along with Callahan, to tie for the building high.
Another guy who plays some football for Benton Harbor as well. Plays on the line, one of their tight ends. It really is that size for Benton Harbor that's impressive to see in person.
He looks like he could play some tight end. We get another look at that short corner fade. Pretty sweet move. Anybody who's a forward and has that kind of athleticism, has that kind of thickness to him, I mean, he's put together. And that's a tight end. We saw Jaden Savory last night for Orchard Lake with his big ball game and just the ability for these guys that are now doing 2 sports, and that tight end forward just seems to be a good fit.
There are so many guys who specialize because they feel like that's what they got to do to get to the next level. I still believe, like, if you're a good athlete, just play a bunch of sports, and eventually you'll figure out the one you're best at. But I really don't think it hurts you to play multiple sports. Injury, concerns aside, obviously.
For sure. Develops all kinds of skills. Another offensive rebound, and Muhammad all over the window. And we'll see on our window cam how active he has been early in this game. He'll go line left and shoot a free throw or 2.
The impressive thing about that last rebound for Muhammad, as you're about to see here, is he's working on some of the bigger guys that Lee has. Marshall at 6'3", 6'4", number 23. He's the tallest player they got, but Muhammad just came out of nowhere to get the rebound.
Yep. There's a look at the latest brainchild from Alex Westfall. And that's a good-looking free throw stroke. So Benton Harbor doubling up Lee. In our opening game, we're in the second quarter. Glad you're with us. He's Evan Stockton. My name's Chad Bush. That is a triple. That's Clarence Lewis, the 12th grader, at 5'10". And the Lee Legends just enough to stick around.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's an 11-point game. Now a 13-point game. But if Lee can get this down to single digits, maybe 10 or 11 by halftime with still a couple minutes to go, they're not out of the game, despite the fact that Benton Harbor keeps growing the lead.
They've certainly changed their culture, and the winning culture has arrived at Lee. unselfish passing there. How about it? Rip drive foul. Was it on the floor, sir, or was it going up? Your officials today, TJ Restow, Brad Brunette, and Bryce Mullen.
Mason, number 11, coming in for the Tigers.
Crossover. Hot knife through butter. Lefty, no good. Lee does get back. That's been a problem. Callahan lost it. Finds his teammate Muhammad for the layup.
That entire play was started by Callahan. King on the rebound actually missed Callahan. He was all alone on the baseline and he missed him, but still, they got the ball to Antoine. Smartly goes up, realizes it's contested, handoff to Muhammad for a better look and 2 more.
Good team ball. Cut off mid-post, kick in the paint. Left hand lay-in is down. Troy Fox with a fine finish. That's this junior. 13-point Tiger lead, final minute of the first half. We'll have Mike Thomas, the founder of the Gotta Get It Classic, at halftime. Don't go anywhere. This game's zooming by.
Yeah.
Second quarter already. We're like 1/16 already through this day.
You got to keep bringing it up, you know? we'll take it one thing at a time.
I don't want it to end.
Yeah, we'll be here all day, literally.
Yeah, we're built for this. There you get a look at, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, Corey Sterling, the 14th year head coach at Benton Harbor, started coaching the JV team, which is a theme with a lot of the teams we're covering today. A lot of guys who started coaching the freshman team or the JV team or whatever the case may be. Class of 95, played at Benton Harbor, played a little college ball at Wisconsin Parkside. That's a D2 school not too far from Chicago.
It's a very good Division II school, Wisconsin Parkside.
It is really great when you have an alum coaching the school. Steve Hall, who we'll see later today with Cass Tech, he talked about that all the time when he took his alma mater to the state championship last season. Just means a little more when you've been through the wars, you have the battle scars, and you're the guy leading your team to a championship, your school to a championship.
Yeah, and if you're a school leader who's making that hiring decision, aren't you thinking, well, I know this guy or this gal is going to be a little more invested in this.
Right.
And they're not coming into one or done and, you know, a couple seasons and then move on. It makes sense both ways, doesn't it?
1,000%. Because at the high school level, right, yes, you get paid to do the job, but you are not getting as paid as something else may be. You're not as much of a quote-unquote mercenary as you may be at the collegiate level, the professional level. So you truly are doing it for a love of the craft, a love of the kids, a love of the environment. So, yeah, you want someone who's going to go, yeah, darn right I want to be here because I know exactly what this place is all about, for sure.
So there is a shot clock. We haven't talked much about it, but there is a shot clock today. It's a 30-second shot clock. Has not been a factor in this game.
No.
Maybe until now. 8 on the shot clock. Shots up off the glass, no good. Benton Harbor will get the final shot, or so it appears. Coast to Coast had it blocked. Blocked by Marshall at the buzzer, and that is no good off the hand of Whitfield as we go to the break with the Tigers of Benton Harbor leading the Lee Legends by a score of 34-21. Your thoughts of the first half, sir?
My thoughts are Benton Harbor's really good. A lot of athleticism, a lot of size, and Lee, God bless him, hung in there for a little bit. But it's going to be tough to come back against Benton Harbor, which is one of the best teams in the state regardless of what division they're in.
Don't go anywhere. The founder of the Gotta Get It Classic, Mike Thomas, and the head coach of East Kentwood, joined us next from East Kentwood. Glad you're with us. Back after this.
From an ordinary idea comes a great journey. It all starts with a simple thought, a vision of something bigger, greater than what already exists. It's that spark that ignites the passion and drive to create something truly amazing. At G-Brand, we understand this journey well. We take pride in the details and perfecting every aspect of the process, regardless of how small or big they may be. Because it's more than just a design or a shirt. It's about outfitting future champions. There's something to be said about a team coming together, each member contributing their unique skills, talents, and ideas. It's that collective effort that takes a simple idea and turns it into something truly great. The process can be excruciating, with countless hours spent tirelessly reviewing every detail. But the end result is pure and so rewarding, knowing that we've created something that will inspire greatness in those who wear it. Whether they come from a savage land or a booming metropolis, whether their numbers are 2 or 2 billion, the greatest their numbers could ever become is truly to become one. That's why at G-Brand, we're more than just a clothing company. We're a movement, a community of like-minded individuals who believe in the power of coming together to make a difference. So join us on this journey as we strive to outfit future champions and inspire greatness in all that we do. G-Brand. Now that's game.
Welcome back to East Kentwood, Michigan. We're on the west side of the state. Glad to be here. Thanks to Mike Thomas, the founder of the Gotta Get It Classic. Thanks for having us here. Our 3rd straight year. You've been so thoughtful in having us, and we're glad to be back.
Oh, it's great, man. Always great to have you guys here, man. You guys do such a wonderful job, and probably the best in the state. Nobody else can compete with you guys. So
thank you. We're trying to keep up with you. What a great event you've got again. Let's talk first about the Gotta Get It Classic and what you all have done in this tournament for all these years. Another great list of teams playing together, 14 of them. An exciting game here already, and I know it just builds as the day goes on. Yeah. You got to be very proud of what this classic has turned into.
Oh yeah, we're steady growing. This year we added one more game. Last year we added freshmen in JV. We have that going on as well across campus as well. But to have games start at 10:15, man, is pretty tough. Especially we had a barn burner here last night against Rockford High School, and this place was jam-packed, and hopefully we can do it 2 days in a row here. So,
let's talk about your team coming off a win last weekend over Brother Rice, and your good pal and former teammate Rick Palmer. Your team's playing some good basketball. You've challenged your team in playing some of the best competition in the state. Yep. How would you assess your team so far this year?
You know what? We're still learning and we're still growing. You talk about that win against Brother Rice. It was a great win, but we got to kind of let that go, as we found out last night. Sometimes your head got to get popped a little bit to kind of get back to reality. And we're always teaching. We're teaching you how to win, but then we're also teaching you how to deal with success too, and to sustain that type of success. So I would say our guys are doing really well. We overcame a storm, and I think we're going to weather the storm over the next couple weeks. So
this is your 2nd year at East Kentwood, and you brought back the team that you were with before in Grand Blanc. Thought that was a nice gesture to include them and keep the good vibes going. What's it been like here, establishing yourself and your program? Is year 2 a little easier now that folks know what to expect from Mr. Thomas? Yeah,
we've created some expectations, and like I say, man, this is a great place, a fun place. We got a lot of support here. A lot of the faculty members and people here, they want to win, and so they support you in doing that. Year 2 has been all about expectations. We wanted to live up to the expectations that we created. And we're starting to move in the right direction with that. We got some big wins. We also have another opportunity for some more big wins coming up. One today and a couple more next week. And I think if we continue with that mind frame, great things are going to happen for East Kentwood, as they already have.
Talked about your matchup with one of the best teams in the state today, and you've got your hands full again. You scheduled these games. You knew what you were getting into. What's the plan of attack against East Lansing?
We got to try to slow them down, man. They're a high-flying team. They like to get up and down. They got some athletes. They got two players that were their dads were former players at Michigan State, so that bloodline is really good. And so we just have to kind of match their energy. I'm going to challenge our guys to, after a loss, to come out with some excitement on our home court. what I told them was, if I got to get you excited about today's game, something's wrong with you, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you're at home. We're playing the #1 team in the state, and here's an opportunity for our program to make some noise and continue to be at the top with those guys.
A couple of your guys at the top, Rembert Humphrey, who's been great this year,
Yes.
along with Ja Hatchett. How has this team come together, and those two guys have come to the forefront for sure?
Those two guys have been leading the way for us. I've always tell Christian, if you can get 10 rebounds like he's doing almost every game, great things are going to happen for us. And Ja's one of the probably one of the best guards, probably one of the best players in the state. He has the ability to create his own shot and make some plays, and as he goes, we go. It's up to him, and if he's on the court having a good game, our chances at winning is going to be really good.
Leave us with the Gotta Get It Classic mission statement in your terms and your words of what this is all about today.
Gotta get it. That definition has been going around for the last 10 years, and that's simply to create a sense of urgency to accomplish unforeseen goals without making any excuses. And we try to live by that. My family, my team, I try to coach by that motto. And I think if we can continue to do that, great things are going to happen for both my family and our program. And that urgency statement it means a lot to us. It's a lifestyle. It's a way of living, and we're going to continue to live by that. So
there he is. That's Mike Thomas, the founder of the Gotta Get It Classic, and also the head coach of East Kentwood in his second year. Thanks so much for having us out.
Thank
Mike.
you.
Really
Hopefully we can get a win tonight, man.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us. More to come. It's halftime. Benton Harbor over Lee at the break. 34-21. Evan with some breakdown analysis, highlights, and much more. We're coming back. This is the Gotta Get It Classic.
Hi, I'm Nick DePonio, and this is HVAC.
Gotta Get It is a nonprofit organization that prioritizes education, creativity, and physical and mental health. We aim to cultivate resilience in youth and young adults so that they are equipped to be the change we need in our communities. We facilitate programs and coordinate projects that provide opportunities for young people to explore their interests, learn useful skills, cultivate social capital, and develop leadership skills in accordance with our mission to create a sense of urgency to accomplish unforeseen goals without making any excuses.
Back at East Kentwood High School, Game 1 out of 7 in the Gotta Get It Classic. Benton Harbor against the legends of Wyoming Lee. Benton Harbor showing off a lot in that first half. In the first couple of quarters of basketball, utilizing their athleticism and their length. You're seeing a lot of reasons why on the screen. So many think Benton Harbor is going to be playing at the Breslin Center in a couple of months. Good talent, good players, all over the place. 5 senior starters on a Benton Harbor team that has a lot of history to live up to. 4 state titles all time. They last won the Class B title in 2018. Class B, of course, is now Division II. A lot of talent all over the place. And let's see if it keeps playing well in the second half. Wyoming Lee starts with the ball. Tyler kicking to the corner. A Lewis 3 is no good. But an offensive rebound for the Legends. A give up to Marshall, and he got fouled by Jaden Meeks. One of the few things to go wrong for Benton Harbor in that first half was foul trouble. Meeks and King picked up a couple of personals a pop, and now you get another one on Meeks. Here's Marshall to the line. First one no good. Get your workout in for the morning, Jack?
Yeah, short sprints. I don't care to do much more today.
Here's all you missed. Jaden Meeks had a foul. Nyzee Marshall missed the first free throw, and he just missed the second.
All right.
Oh, and now a tie-up.
We got a tie-up, and that is going to go where it was going to go anyway.
Yes.
So at the break, 34-21, what stood out in the numbers to you?
What stood out, numbers aside, was the athleticism for Benton Harbor. And I mean, once you look at it, right, it's what we thought. They're just too big. They doubled up Lee in rebounds, 23-12, basically doubled them up. That's why Benton Harbor is going to beat a lot of teams this year. They're just darn more athletic and taller than them, to be honest with you.
That is the offensive Josiah King. He has 11 now. And he's got a nice looking stroke.
Yes, he does, especially for his size, right? 6'4", 205, big guy. It's a pretty little shot.
Yes, sir. So the Legends looking to stay around and get the right shot. Again, a 30-second shot clock in this game, and that's down. A triple. That's Clarence Lewis for three.
I'm telling you, look, Benton Harbor is going to out-athletic a lot of teams, but Wyoming Lee going forward has got some pieces. Marshall's a big dude down low. Whitfield, 0, was the conference player of the year last year. And Lewis has showed off a really nice stroke, as Callahan has showed off that athleticism all day.
Antoine Callahan with a reverse, and Lee comes right back and does a little reverse of their own. That's Troy Fox with another bucket. And Fox in this game now has 4 points. Callahan down low to the right block. Power layup up and good over the big boy. That's Jaden Meeks. And the Legends, Dominic Shannon wants timeout.
This is an important stretch for Benton Harbor. I know they're up by double digits, but the coaching staff understands that there is a lot they can get out of this game, a lot they can get of Antoine Callahan and all the athleticism that he showed all day long for the Benton Harbor Tigers.
Miller Johnson Attorneys. Today's game is proudly sponsored by Miller Johnson, where the growth of Michigan is at the core of our practice. Miller Johnson. We thank them for their support of the Gotta Get It Classic. How about Taylor's Home Care Services? This matchup is proudly sponsored by Taylor's Home Care Services, serving individuals with physically and mental disabilities in West Michigan since 2012. The mission of Taylor's Home Care Services is to promote a comfortable place for growth. Lee Legends with a basketball. They need instant points. Pull up 17-footer, short. Across the timeline, the patient Tigers get impatient with a three, and that's short. Run out Legends. 2-on-2, and that is a foul, not a goaltend.
Really?
Going up was Whitfield, and he gets the foul, but the goaltend is what the Legends wanted.
Yeah, watching it live, I don't know how they did. I don't blame Mark at all for being confused here. All right, here we go. Let's get another look. It's tough to tell from there.
Yeah.
Live, it looked like it. This is a much better look. I mean, that hits the rim. That's a goaltend.
I thought so. But I've seen things the wrong way before. 3 of 8 now are the Legends of Lee. Just 2 free throw attempts for the Tigers of Benton Harbor. Free throw up, and that is good. That's Whitfield. He has 8 points, and he leads the Legends in scoring.
And as a great American poet once said, ball don't lie. Should have been a goaltend. He made both free throws anyway. We're good.
Was that Rasheed Wallace?
That was indeed Rasheed Wallace.
What a poet he was.
He was an outstanding man, and I miss him on a daily basis.
He's up there with Edgar Allan Poe. Shot off the mark, throw ahead, and the run out. And the block! Oh, goodness! Mustafa Muhammad stole the show. Kick, 3, and the block the other way. Whitfield says enough of that mess. And another turnover, and the Legends are running out. Whitfield leads the break, pulls up, and it spins out of there. That could have changed things. Tigers, meanwhile, throw ahead. That's a big boy catch by Muhammad. And helter-skelter at its finest right now at the Gotta Get It Classic.
All right, we got to see another look at this block from Mustafa Muhammad. This is the ultra-rare two-hand block. Look at that thing. Go up and send it back with two hands. Wow.
Love it. Look at that. That camera work. All right, the trophies are here. I like that. Yes, sir. The trophies are in front of us. See if we can't get a good look at those trophies.
I'm not quite sure which is first and which is second. Both look really cool.
I
would assume the bigger one is for first place, but that's
one
usually
would think. Yeah, one would think, but you never know. Baseline left, right hand, no. Stick back over the top by Mustafa Muhammad is down. And the Tigers are cooking now. They're up 14.
This is a good basketball team. They are athletic, they are long, and they are balanced. Callahan, Muhammad, King have all scored at least 10 in this game.
The lead's been as big as 15. Tigers in the open court. And what an athletic save. On the baseline, and the runner's down. Javon Mason, the man on that baseline, with a finish. No time to rest. Attacking the 10, trying to get some momentum back. Whitfield, but the Tigers have zapped a lot of energy from the Legends today. They're enjoying their largest lead.
Anytime Lee has gotten it down to 10, 12 points the last couple of quarters, Benton Harbor just hits the accelerator again with plays like this. Mason just looks at Fox and goes, I am bigger. You are not stopping me. I am scoring this basket. And that's exactly what happened.
Quote unquote.
I'm sure that's exactly what he was thinking. You know, I don't want to put myself in the mind of Javon Mason, but
that move
exactly what he was thinking.
It was emphatic as can be.
Yeah.
No doubt. Whitfield behind the back. No dice. 5 of 11, the Legends at the line. They have not helped themselves. Poke away from behind, and somebody help the young man. Stolen at half court, given back. We keep a track of all those turnovers. Oh, the hammer the other way! Mark Whitfield says we are not done. Let's see if that juice can get things rolling. I mean, things are getting mucky down there.
Mark Whitfield is fun. Give credit to Lee. They won't go away. They won't let Benton Harbor completely blow the doors off this thing. That is a hammer from Mark. Hello.
5'11" he's listed at. He got up. Tigers have gone to their bench. Javon Mason will check out. They'll enter into the ball game for the first time. Rodney Ford, the senior at 6'2". Baseline, long corner left jumper, Callahan no. Lee wants to run it out. They've got somebody leaking, that's Whitfield. And he'll slow it down. Brown Tyler down low, right block laying's good, fresh feed. Troy Fox with a finish, full court pressure applied.
I'm impressed by Lee. I mean, a couple of minutes ago, Benton Harbor's got this thing at 16, and you're thinking, oh boy, here we go. They come right back. The way that they have battled against a Benton Harbor team, let's just be honest about it. They are more athletic. They have a lot of juice, Benton Harbor does, but right now Lee's bringing the juice. Benton Harbor just fell asleep. That was a 10-second call.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Bench on the opposite side of the court. They didn't get a reminder. Not that they need a reminder, but that certainly doesn't bode well for them.
I mean, if Lee can get a bucket here, we're down to a single-digit game. Just got to keep chipping away. They're alive.
Feeling good now are the Legends. Oh, the crossover to the hole, lay it good! Blown by. Mark Whitfield starting to feel it, and the energy starting to elevate in East Kentwood. Turnover. Mustafa was on that line, and he got busted for it. And the Legends get it back, and it's a single-digit deficit.
Mark Whitfield. There's got to be a few folks watching this game just to watch Benton Harbor, and Mark's saying you should watch me too. 13 points for Whitfield today, averaged 20 last year. Man, he looks good.
Sure does. Corner three, no. Loose change rebound by Nazim Marshall, and he'll get rewarded line left and shoot a couple. That is the third foul, by the way, on Muhammad. So that's something to watch.
Right now, as much as we talk about Lee, what I'm also thinking about for Benton Harbor is how this is a really great opportunity for their team. We've talked about the experience. All 5 starters are seniors. But this game, to be honest about it, this feels and looks like a playoff game from the sense that Benton Harbor has raced out to a lead. They're probably going to race out to a lead against a lot of teams first couple rounds of the playoffs. And then they're going to get the best shot from the other team because their season's on the line. And Lee's giving them their best shot the last few minutes.
Right on. Wide open, and the press got burned that time. That's a lay-in by Lewis. He has his first points of the ball game. That stops the bleeding, and the 6-0 run. It's a 10-point game. Marshall lost it. Tigers with a 2-on-1. Callahan to the hole, lays it in. 15 for Callahan to lead the building in scoring.
And that's how quickly it can change, right? We've talked about the style of play that Benton Harbor has. It can give them problems, but it can also grow leads real quick like they just did in about 10 seconds.
Another steal forced by the Tigers. 3-on-1 to the hole, got it. Muhammad forces the timeout. Dominic Shannon wants timeout in his former building. It's starting to feel like the walls are starting to close in on the alum.
It's so hard to rally back in games when you're up by double digits, when you're down by double digits. Lee used a lot of energy to get it to 8, and just like that, Benton Harbor's got it back to 14. My time to shine. Got it! Splash!
And that will put some gauze on it.
Thought they were having a lot of fun, dishing it off to each other. The dunks were happening, just a good time.
There you see him, Dominic Shannon, back home where he was a student athlete in his 3rd season. Was an assistant at Forest Hills for a year or two, Saranac High School, and Grand Rapids native. But the big feat was what you mentioned earlier, the conference championship.
First time that Wyoming Lee had won the conference championship since 1990. I mean, look at the turnaround.
Yeah.
Year 1 to year 2. 5-16 to 19-2 last year. And I know Lee is in a struggle here today. Could be shaping up to fall to 4-4, but this is a team that's got the tools, as we've seen already this morning, to make some noise once we hit the playoffs.
Yeah, maybe the best tool is their fight. They seem to be resilient. He's assisted by Landon Mitchner, Brian Jackson, Sam Taylor, and Miles Robinson. There's 10 on the shot clock, a minute left in the 3rd quarter. Little ISO here with Whitfield. That's sent back. Shot clock, buzzer, and that is a violation. The officials make their first violation of the day. And Brian Mueller is going to come over and say, hey, we got a shot clock violation. This is cool. We haven't had this all year.
I think what they're checking is, did it hit the rim, so they had to reset it? It did not. Yep, there you go. Good call by our officiating crew, and I think, God bless him, number 11, Clarence Lewis, forgot that there was a shot clock because he put the shot up and he went, Wait, why are we turning it over? Well, Clarence, there's a shot clock today.
We're getting closer. I know it's a tired discussion, but we got to be getting closer to a shot clock, right? I mean, why is there not one?
Chad, that is above my head. I don't know. I think there is nothing more frustrating, right, than when we watch big-time playoff games in March, specifically those state championships. You want games to be won, not only obviously based on who's better team, but also who can close down the stretch. And I just don't think passing the ball around and stalling really figures out who's the best team. I've said my piece. I'll promise to try not to say it again today.
I like it. Missed shot 3, and how about the offensive reset? The Lee Legends giving the Tigers a taste of their own medicine. This is Mark Whitfield, the senior floater, Glasser, got it. That's pretty. That's a nice player. He's got 15 to tie for the high in this game.
I mean, with the way he's played today against a great team in Benton Harbor, I hope there's some colleges out there taking notice because Mark Whitfield's got to have a home somewhere.
He's a player. 3 ball. That was from Chicago. At the buzzer, Antoine Callahan, a 27-footer to finish the third.
Speaking of someone who needs to have a college home, I want this guy on my sports team. Look at him. He just did a shot from 27 feet and he didn't even break a smile. Hand down, man down, bang. How about
Football
that?
or basketball? This guy's got options. Coming to the fourth.
I love running and working out, but my heel pain was devastating. So I go to fix my feet today, and in about 30 minutes, I walked out pain-free and could not believe it.
Even if you think you tried everything and nothing has worked for you, call or visit Fix My Feet today.
Fix My Feet is now open in Rochester Hills, located on Rochester Road in the Target Center. Come in for a free consultation.
Corey Sterling is the bench boss in his 13th season. This is his alma mater. He was All-State at Benton Harbor back in '95, and he went to University of Wisconsin Parkside, as Evan told you, one of the few Division II universities in Wisconsin that's full of Division I and Division IIIs. Played 4 years up there for the Rangers. Notable seasons. How about state champions in 2018? Runners-up in 2014, and there he is, one of the best. Corey Sterling, the pride of the Tigers.
He'll have that smile on the bench right now, Chad, but there is still time to go in this game. I'm impressed with the way that Lee has battled all day, and I don't think they're done.
Floater up and good, and that might be the man with the best hair in the building, Nathan Johnson for 2. That was a pretty move, and now a steal. Legends with numbers. A little show and go. Covered up nicely by the Tigers.
Whitfield needs to pull that shot because it leads to this.
Yep. Mustafa Muhammad, reverse no, out of bounds. It'll stay with the Tigers. Ball out of bounds baseline.
And I'm just shocked on the other end of the floor, Chad, that Mark Whitfield doesn't shoot that shot. He's wide open for 3. He's your leading scorer all day. He's the one who's brought you the juice. That's the type of pump fake you make when you're not confident. And Mark Whitfield may be the most confident man in the gym.
Yeah, you're playing with house money, all that momentum. Might as well get one in, the money ball style. Now the Legends will have to set up defensively against this potent Benton Harbor club. Callahan with a crossover. And off the side of the glass, Legends with a leak out. And that is a lay-in. And so Whitfield adds to his total. He's got 17. And back to an 11-point game. Another steal. And back we go. 4 turnovers in about 4 seconds. A broadcaster's dream. Layup missed, and the putback is good. Mustafa Muhammad continues to clean up on that glass.
It's a big swing. That's a 4-point swing right there. If Lee gets the turnover at half court and comes back the other way, this looks a whole heck of a lot different.
13-point game. Double team doesn't matter. That's a block, and it's off the back of Marshall, who was down. 3-on-1 the other way. Layup is good on a fresh feed from Callahan. Bucket by Mason.
I mean, Mason just caught a 95-mile-per-hour fastball from Callahan. That thing had some smoke coming off of it.
Mark Whitfield with a floater, no, got his own miss. Top side, triples down. Splash City. Clarence Lewis sticks it. And we got ourselves a 12-point game.
Just so impressed by the way that Lee has not gone away at any point in this game. I know Benton Harbor's good, but Lee, give him credit, has made shots like that. Clarence Lewis hits the three. They're still alive, Chad. There's a lot of ball game to go.
Want to thank our sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Miller Johnson Attorneys. This game is proudly sponsored by Miller Johnson, where the growth of Michigan is at the core of our practice. Miller Johnson Attorneys. And also today's matchup between Wyoming Lee High School and Benton Harbor, sponsored by Taylor's Home Care Services. Proudly serving individuals with physical and mental disabilities in the West Michigan area since 2012. The mission of Taylor's Home Care Services is to promote a comfortable place for growth. Chad Bush and Evan Stockton back with you. Alex Westfall, your executive producer. Game 1 of 7 today. And we started at 10:15 in the morning. We might end at 10:15 tonight.
Something around that time. But it is fun to be in an environment like this all day as teams filter in, teams filter out. Saw a few Renaissance fans about to walk into the gym. They play Kalamazoo Central in about 45 minutes. Fun day.
Looking forward to that one.
I love watching Renaissance play. They get up and down the floor. They may win, they may lose, but they'll score 80. It's a lot of fun.
Strong guard play. Callahan pull up, left elbow jumper off the glass. The bank's open on the weekends in GR.
You talk about strong guard play. I mean, Antoine Callahan, the 18 points, and every time Lee gets a little life, he sucks it out of him.
Man. Right wing 3, no. 5 missed it, 5 grabs the rebound. And this kid's been all over the glass today. King with 11 points, 7 rebounds. 3 ball, long, and the Tigers turn it over with a 2-man advantage. Excuse me, the Legends turn it over with a 2-man advantage. Jump shot no from King. Second chance opportunity is cashed in by Mason, who's been fun to watch at 6'3".
It's now 4 different Benton Harbor players with at least 10. Mason, Callahan, King, Muhammad, and Mason with a nice flex after that basket.
That's a hand check. And on the perimeter, have not seen a lot of fouls called.
No.
They've really let him play here in game 1.
And I like it. Look, if you're an official, if you're going to lean one way or the other, just for the sake of the flow of the game, I'd prefer that you swallow the whistle a couple of times. And if you set the precedent early, this is what it's like, boys, get used to it. It's a well-officiated game, and that's exactly what they did early on. I think our officials have done a really nice job.
Agree with that. Benton Harbor is led by as many as 16 points in this game. That's where the lead is at now. Lee had it down to within 8, and just has not been able to get any closer since. Tigers with too much height. That man with a nice turnaround hook. That's Marshall finishing strongly in the paint. That one's ripped and stolen. Picked off by the free safety. That's Nathan Johnson. Shot up and in. How about that finish? And here comes Lee with another answer.
Give him credit. Every time that you think Benton Harbor's going to ease to the finish line, Lee battles. I mean, that last finish by Tyler was ridiculous. Around the world it went and into the basket. Look at this thing. Whoop! Got to pull out a Chris Berman for that shot.
That was sweet. Good look there. Mustafa Muhammad with a power finish in the paint. And a quick answer. Muhammad in this ball game now with 16 points, second most for the Tigers. Benton Harbor trying to get to 13-0. Shot blocked. Rejected by Mason. They got it back. Put back by Marshall, no. And a whistle in the paint, and it's going to go on Benton Harbor. We'll stay on this side of the court.
I think this is a blessing in disguise as well for Benton Harbor, the fact that Lee is hung in this game. Guys like that have to stay on the floor. Mustafa Muhammad has not had a lot of time off. This does feel like a playoff game from the sense that Lee has not gone away in two talented teams. This is a great test for Benton Harbor.
3 ball. No good. 25% for the game for Lee from distance. That shot's blocked. That's Marshall again. Baseline, kick out. Fine pass. And the finish, Splash City. Clarence Lewis has done it again. His 3rd triple of the game. 12 points. And again, Lee with an answer.
Yeah, absolutely. This is still within shouting distance. 11-point game. 3 minutes to go. A shot clock today. This thing's not over.
All right, this is Adam. Take 2. I guess. I go like this.
The best part about playing football in Texas has to be the reaction from the community.
I want to encourage others to play volleyball or choir because you get to experience new things and do stuff that you've never done before. My reason why is passion.
My reason why is pride.
Lowering the shoulder.
Swing and a miss. McGinley scores!
Welcome back to East Kentwood High School. His name is Evan Stockton. My name is Chad Bush. Benton Harbor trying to stay perfect. Lee, a rally. It's been a trend this entire game.
Yeah, anytime Benton Harbor gets it to 14, 15, 16, Lee goes on a little spurt, gets it close. They've been as close as 8 in this second half, and now you would think the pressure's going to get turned up as they try to get turnovers.
Yes, you'll recall a lot of the talent on this team, a lot of the seniors stepping up, and that's another one right there. That's Mason. What a day for the senior.
One of those 4 Benton Harbor Tigers in double figures, Mason with 12.
Left corner 3 air ball gathered by King across the timeline. Oh, the handles. 16-footers off. Legends need instant points. That man's giving them distance points. Reverse no, rebound attempt, and that's a foul. It's going to go on Lee. And the reach in.
Thought he got it clean. Tough break for Lee. By the way, they had started the season 0-3. Then they promptly rip off 4 in a row, including a win last night by over 20. And even if they lose this game, it's an awesome test for them going forward as they try to build off, Chad, that incredible season they had last year.
Yeah, and you got to like the way this team is built for the postseason with Marshall, who was all conference last year. And you said it, the reigning conference player of the year in Whitfield. I mean, we're seeing the best in the Alliance League Conference.
There's still so much of the season to go. This is really when the high school season ramps up in full measure.
Yeah. King is long with a shot. Lee on the run out, 2-on-2, and that is a roll-in that's good. Mark Whitfield to the hole. Blackjack, he's got 21. A lot of making up to do. 70 seconds left in this game. Push pass to the right block, no. The second game was scheduled to start, I believe, at the top of the hour.
Yes, noon.
And it is going to be moved up to 11:45 approximately. So if you're interested in game 2, and why wouldn't you be, a battle between Kalamazoo Central and Detroit Renaissance, that will start probably at 11:45 before the top of the hour. Chicken left on this bone, though, 60 seconds left. 70. My math is slow today.
Still the morning, Chad. You're good.
I know. At noon, it's over, though. No more mulligans. No more breakfast balls. Kicked off the toe. Picked up Muhammad down the avenue. And that's a tie-up. That's a jump ball, and that's going to go the same way.
Shot clock should be at 2 seconds, though.
It should. They're going to have to run it down.
Yep.
Or so you would think.
No, they got to reset at 35, but that's wrong. Yeah, the officials are talking about it. That shot clock's got to be at 2. There you go.
They're going to say 1, I think. But, yeah, I'm with you. Either way, there's not much time left. I thought there were 2 seconds myself. They'll put 1 second up there. This might be part of the problem, right? I mean,
right.
It takes time away. They got to go back and get a technical issue fixed.
Yeah, we've got a shot clock here all day. So many of us, I think Chad and I included, want a shot clock in high school basketball, but this is the administrative element to it, which I guess a lot of people worry about, is getting it fixed.
Yeah, for sure. There she is, the first lady that got to get it classic, Mrs. T. Thomas in the house. We look forward to talking with her. Coming up in the 5th game at halftime. So the officials are going to stop the game, and with 58 seconds left in a game that's, an 11-point game, they're going to take some time here to get this right.
So if you're just checking in on the score and wondering how this thing has gone, what should you take away from the game? For Benton Harbor, take away that they're very good. They're very athletic. They're very balanced. 4 different guys have scored at least 10 points in this game. Callahan, number 2, for my money, has been the best player in this game. He's looked fantastic. And then for Wyoming Lee, time and again they fall behind by 15 or 16, and time and again they battle and they scrapped. Whitfield has looked great. Marshall, a presence down low. Lewis has hit a couple of shots from the outside. I think there's bright days ahead for both of these teams.
Yeah, and give credit for going and playing this game.
Right.
I mean, Lee, they had some choices in their matchups, and they wanted to go against Benton Harbor. Iron sharpens iron. And the Lee Legends are just building, and they already know they can win with this team. They won 19 games last year with a couple of these guys that are their front men. And, yeah, I think it's impressive that they've gone out and have been willing to go against one of the best in the state in Division II in Benton Harbor.
Yeah, it says a lot about your coaching staff, says a lot about the makeup of the team where you're not scared to play anybody. I think that says a lot to the guys in your program. Yeah.
I'm sorry. It shows the coach, too, trust your kids.
Yeah.
Like, he trusts that his kids are going to come out and compete, and they have. The score doesn't necessarily reflect it, but it is an 11-point game. It's been as big as 16 points. The Lee bench wants an explanation, and Dominic Shannon has come over and said, look, what's going on here? They're going to put 1 second back on this clock eventually, and Benton Harbor's going to have to work very quick here, Evan, to get a shot. They've got the height to do it. What do you think we can look for here?
Basically, you're throwing one up at the rim and hope one of your guys can volleyball set it in. It's basically the only thing you can do here.
All right. Antoine Callahan to trigger. 1 second on the shot clock. Lob up. Shot king, and it's good. They had to get the lob, and the shot goes, and it's been that kind of day, Mr. King. Shot to the hole, no good. Whitfield missed it, got his own miss, and scores it. Full court pressure applied. We've got an 11-point game still. And a foul by Lee.
I mean, that last little sequence there is indicative of the effort Lee has given all game. So Whitfield misses it. You think, oh, Benton Harbor's going to grab the rebound, throw it out. We'll just run out the clock. No, steal and a basket. These guys are not going to quit until the bitter end, and I give them credit for it.
It's impressive. Guys like Robert Whaley and Wilson Chandler have come through this basketball program. Missed shot, Lee to run it out. Whitfield the other way, and he's got 23. And the Legends aren't done yet. Timeout called by Dominic Shannon. We'll keep it right here. Don't go anywhere after this one. And they've moved the game up. Kalamazoo Central High School, the Maroon Giants, will take on the Detroit Renaissance Phoenix, who've been in a lot of tight games. I know you like their guard play. What can we expect to see from that match?
Well, you talk about Renaissance. Lance Stone is one of the best guards in Michigan. Jordan Sigmund, by the time he's done, is going to be one of the best players overall in Michigan, a sophomore who's getting offers from all over the place. And Kalamazoo Central, obviously Coach Thomas here at East Kentwood, used to be the coach at Kalamazoo Central. A rich athletic history, a lot of talented guys on that team. That should be a very fun matchup. Chad, do you know which athletic superstar from Kalamazoo went to Kalamazoo Central? He's a former Maroon Giant.
Derek Jeter?
Bingo.
Come on, bro. You gotta come at me harder than that.
I don't think Derek's going to be watching the next game. I think he's very busy with his children and his supermodel wife. But if he's going to watch, hi. Great to see you, Captain.
He's still celebrating the Big Blue.
That's true.
He's still celebrating that Michigan. And he's wasn't he part of the Lions celebration this past weekend? Was he? I think he was one of the celebs on the field.
I don't believe it's strange because he grew up a Yankee fan, even though he's from Michigan, because he's got family from Jersey. I don't know. It gets confusing.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I think he loves the Lions, but he definitely loves the Yankees, and they drafted him. And he went on to have a fine, fine career. The most notable Kalamazoo Central alum. This is probably our G of the game. And he's at the line right side. He's about to get one of these fresh new lids from Brian Metallic and the great folks at G Brand USA. Have you seen the new hats? We got a new G of the game hat.
Wow, new hat?
Yeah, all black on white.
Oh, I've seen that, yeah.
Yeah, this is...
I saw Austin Sonnenberg wearing a winter hat. I didn't know those were in the rotation.
Well, they were in the rotation. Pat the Stat gave them to his favorites, and I didn't get one either, if that tells you anything.
I thought Pat and I were friends. I thought I had kissed his butt enough. I guess not. Anyway.
Time has run out. A 10-point win for Benton Harbor in this ballgame over Lee, who showed some fight, Evan, but not enough today as the Tigers were the tops of this morning classic.
I think both teams got exactly what they wanted to out of this game. Benton Harbor got a good test against a good team, had to play their guys a lot of minutes, coming off a game that they just played yesterday. So many teams in this Gotta Get It Classic today also played yesterday, and they did that for a reason. They want to get ready for the playoffs, and Wyoming Lee played an awesome team and was never out of the game in battle. Both teams, give them credit. Good ball game.
The G of the game is next before we close this thing out. Stick around. We're back in a moment.
Hi, I'm Nick DePonio, and this is HVAC.
Gotta Get It is a nonprofit organization that prioritizes education, creativity, and physical and mental health. We aim to cultivate resilience in youth and young adults so that they are equipped to be the change we need in our communities. We facilitate programs and coordinate projects that provide opportunities for young people to explore their interests, learn useful skills, cultivate social capital, and develop leadership skills in accordance with our mission to create a sense of urgency to accomplish unforeseen goals without making any excuses.
Welcome back to East Kentwood and the Gotta Get It Classic. Time now for our G of the game. Benton Harbor wins it 68-58 over Lee, and we're with our G of the game, player of the game, Antoine Callahan. Boy, was he big in this one. 21 points, 6 dimes to go with it. What a game. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you. Thank you so much, man. Thank you. Thank you.
You played with a real presence to you and some energy, and early on, when Lee was starting to make a move, you guys had some defensive plays that turned a quick offense. You were at the head of it. Was that part of the game plan?
Yes, that was part of the game plan, to come out and keep playing how we was playing in the first half. They keep it going. And I wanted to give big shout out to my teammates, though. They put the effort in. Without them, I wouldn't even won.
How about your teammates? They're behind you.
Yeah, they're my brothers right there, man. Hey, this is my brothers right here, man.
I like it.
I love my babies, man. It's my brothers.
The Tigers with a big win today.
I want to give a shout out to Coach Sterling, too.
Absolutely. He's been a big part of this. Talk about this team and how special it is. You guys are undefeated, playing great basketball. What's ahead for this team?
Yeah, the coach always told us to come out and play like it's our last game. Take it like it's a business trip. So that's what we've been doing ever since.
I'd say you were giving them the business defensively. How much pride do you take in your defense over your offense?
I take so much of my defense. It's defense over offense any day. That's what I go by. I go by defense. Defense first. Defense wins games always. That's what the coach always tells us. Defense wins games.
What defines this team so far this year? What's a characteristic that you guys have shown that you're really proud of?
I say our run game. Our get it and go game. That's how we've been winning a lot. We get it and go and look up.
Lots of work in the open court, and this man was at the head of it. He's our G of the game, Antoine Callahan from Benton Harbor. Congratulations, young man.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I want to thank y'all.
You bet. All right, there he is. That's the ball game. That's our G of the game. The Tigers win it, 68-58 over Lee High School. We're coming back in a moment with a start of Game 2 on a different link. Thanks so much for watching. For my partner, Evan Stockton, my name's Chad Bush. So long, everybody.